So I read this today and I was like, what? A new ocean? So it turns out National Geographic says there is a fifth ocean on Earth. Oh, a new ocean. Okay, check this out. The National Geographic is changing the world map. The 130-year-old exploration and education nonprofit marked World Oceans Day on Tuesday by declaring that the waters around Antarctica will now be known as the Southern Ocean, the planet's fifth ocean. The Southern Ocean, that's the name of it. The Southern Ocean has long been recognized by scientists, but because there was never agreement internationally, we never officially recognized it. National Geographic Society geographer Alex Tate said, it's sort of geographic nerdiness in some ways, Tate said. We've always labeled it, but we labeled it slightly differently than other oceans. This change was taking the last step and saying we want to recognize it because of its ecological separation. National Geographic cartographers have listed 4 oceans on Earth since the society began making maps in 1915: the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, and Arctic Oceans. Now here it is. This is what it used to look like, and you can see South Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, South Pacific Ocean, and then of course this is, I'm assuming, a picture of Antarctica. Historically, the massive waters surrounding the southernmost continent were viewed as an extension of the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. But in recent years, scientists have homed in on the unique nature of the Antarctic waters, largely due to unique currents that flow there, known as the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, National Geographic magazine said. The current makes the waters colder and slightly less salty, which helps store carbon deep in the ocean and has a critical impact on Earth's climate. Anyone who has been there will struggle to explain what's so mesmerizing about it, but they'll agree that the glaciers are bluer, the air colder, the mountains more intimidating, and the landscape more captivating than anywhere else you go, said marine scientist Seth Sikora Bodie, a National Geographic explorer. And now they're declaring it all the Southern Ocean. What do you think about that? I mean, I've never been there. Flat earthers claim that it's actually a big ring around the entire Earth because it's flat, although some believe that there's more land beyond Antarctica. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I've never been down there. It does kind of make sense. The Pacific is massive. The Atlantic is massive also. But the Arctic Ocean is essentially just North Pacific Ocean, right? And North Atlantic Ocean. So why wouldn't there be a Southern Ocean? Although, I gotta be honest, it feels a little lazy. You know, they had an opportunity to, name it some awesome name, but the Southern Ocean, like, that's so lazy. Come on, guys. Look, I'm cool with it. Whatever. You're gonna. It's different. It's got its own flow and whatnot, and ecosystems probably. So name it something awesome. The Southern Ocean. All right. Cool. All right. It is kind of cool. We still don't know a lot about the ocean. In fact, check this out. This is a statistic. I knew it was something like this, so I wanted to find out. Where is it? 80% of our oceans are unobserved and unmapped. 80%. That's nuts. Our planet's like 70% water, right? So 80% of that water is unexplored. I would love to go explore the ocean. I think that's really cool. We're all about going into space, and we don't even understand the full ocean. It's pretty incredible. Yeah. Check this out. So I was reading about the ocean, and I stumbled upon this article, and I was like, you know what? That's really cool. I got to talk about it. I don't know how many people know what a megalodon is. So a megalodon is basically a giant shark that used to rule the waters. I've been playing Sea of Thieves a lot lately. Fantastic game. Very, very amazing water. The water looks so good. Sailing around on that water is really a beautiful game. But there's megalodons that attack the ship every so often because it's a game and it's fun. But megalodons were actually a real thing. And it turns out it may have been larger than we have thought. So Megalodon was a giant shark that roamed the oceans for millions of years before becoming extinct some 3.6 million years ago. Scientists have been trying to determine its size for over 100 years now. Figuring out the size of this fearsome giant has proven to be a challenging endeavor because researchers only have fossilized teeth and vertebrae at their disposal. Nevertheless, a team of scientists have now managed to determine the creature's size more accurately than ever before. They have published their findings in a scientific journal, Paleontologia Electronica. It turns out that it was even bigger than previously thought. Here is an incredible image of it. Of course, there's no real ratio. You can't really see comparing it to anything else. It's just sitting in the ocean. So it just looks like a regular shark until you see the graph. I'm just going to skip ahead real quick because here is... I've actually seen these in museums. They're really incredible. I would love to have one of these. Look how huge that... I mean, that's the size of your hand. That's one... I mean, I used to live in Florida. I have lots of family in Florida, and, shark teeth, the bones of the shark teeth is cool. They range in size, but, I had a couple small ones as a kid, but, they get bigger and bigger. But that tooth that I'm looking at right there is like the size of the small shark tooth or shark mouth bone thing that I had with all the lines of teeth that you can see. My goodness. So look at this. I'm going to go back and read this article because it's amazing. I just want to show you this. So that's a human. That's a human right there. Tiny little human. Okay. Now let's see. So this is an average shark. A normal shark. This is a great white right now. Now, this is a megalodon. That thing doesn't even need to chew us. It just goes, boop, piece of candy. Little piece of candy. We're pieces of candy to these guys. Look at that freaking size. Jeez. I can't imagine like how crazy the oceans used to be, right? Because the planet's just gone through significant changes over millions and millions of years. I mean, dinosaurs used to roam the earth. The giant shark but what did they eat? How did they get that big? What was there had to be so many different fish in the ocean for them to just continue existing, right? Because if they didn't have prey, they wouldn't be able to eat and they wouldn't exist. But that's a big freaking shark. It all started with a school exercise. One of the three authors, Victor Perez, was helping students with a math exercise where 3D printed replicas of fossil teeth from a real megalodon were used to calculate the shark's size. Perez noticed that something was wrong with the results when his students ranged between 12 to 45 meters, 40 to 148 feet. Initially, he thought that mistakes were made in unit conversion or that some of his students utilized the wrong equation. However, very soon, it became clear that the error didn't stem from the students. It turned out that the equations, which have been used by scientists since 2002, are simply not as accurate as expected. I was really surprised, Perez said. I think a lot of people had seen that study and blindly accepted the equations. The science was wrong? What? More on this. However, very soon it became clear that the error didn't I just read that one. When estimating the size of the megalodon, scientists commonly used its contemporary lookalike, the great white shark, as an example. Although white sharks and megalodons belong to different families, they share a similar predatory lifestyle. In addition, they both have broad, triangular, serrated teeth. According to Perez, they are excellent for hunting large prey akin to dolphin and whales. Look at those things. That is a huge tooth. All right, so this is, I'll just read. It's a comparison between a megalodon tooth and a great white shark tooth. So they're kind of similar. These ones seemed a little bit more elongated, like a little longer, where these seem to be a little wider. Obviously, I'm trying to like, you can see that this one has a little bit more of a pointier tip there. Researchers calculate size based on the relationship between tooth size and total body length. One issue that arises when applying this method is that, just like in humans, the size and shape of shark teeth are vary depending on where they are located in the mouth. It is therefore necessary to accurately identify the form or location of the fossil tooth within the megalodon jaw. Sadly, most megalodon teeth are discovered as single fossils without a clue of where they came from in relation to the jaw. So one can imagine that the scientists were thrilled when the Florida Museum received a priceless donation in the form of a near complete set of teeth from a single megalodon shark from the collector named Gordon Hubble. Using this newly acquired set of teeth to estimate the length of the megalodon, it was anticipated that results would show a slight variation, just a few millimeters, but the fluctuations in estimates shot to more than 30 meters. The farther a tooth position was from the front of the jaw, the larger the estimated size would be. In their new study, the team decided to look for a more accurate way to find out the body size of the megalodon. They took it in a completely different direction by measuring the width of the tooth instead of the height. The researchers analyzed a set of fossil teeth from 11 different sharks belonging to 5 different species, including, of course, Megalodon itself, but also modern-day great white shark and some other close relatives. By measuring the combined width of each tooth in a row, the researchers then developed a new model. The model reveals how wide an individual tooth was in relation to its jaw. Now, when a paleontologist excavates a lone megalodon tooth, they can compare its width to the average obtained in the study, making it possible to get more accurate estimate of how big the shark really was. So how big was the megalodon shark in according to these new insights? Well, it turns out this huge predator was even larger than previously thought. And then, of course, I had to jump ahead earlier to show you this, but earlier research established that its size to be around 15 to 18 meters, 50 to 60 feet. However, the new calculations indicate that the frightening giant would be closer in size to 20 meters, 65 feet. Finally, an important caveat that should be mentioned is that not all sharks are exactly the same size. Even sharks of the same species can differ in size. So Perez warns that even this new method could have a margin of error. In addition, it is also still unclear exactly how wide Megalodon's jaw was. Unfortunately, that is difficult to determine based on his teeth alone. For example, some shark species have gaps between each tooth, while the teeth of other species overlap. Nonetheless, scientists have made a lot of progress in devising a more accurate method to calculate a shark's size based on fossilized teeth. And perhaps equally as important, the discovery sparked enthusiasm for science in students in a way that textbooks couldn't. I have to add, they say that, each one could be varying in size. That means there could have been a bigger megalodon out there. That's a big tooth. You know what I'm saying? That's some big teeth. Huge. Someone said huge. I agree. Massive, massive, massive. And that's just crazy to think about.